Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports. Breaking news, James Harden officially traded to the 76ers for Ben Simmons, 2 first-rounders, Andre Drummond, and Seth Curry. Daryl Morey and James Harden reunited, and it feels so good. It does, because James Harden clearly wanted out. He's clearly unhappy, and they got the deal done. So, Philadelphia 76ers fans should be happy because they got what they wanted. They kept Tyrese Maxey, they got James Harden, and they got, most importantly, Joel Embiid some help. I would assume that the 76ers are going to get another center just because to replace Andre Drummond, and another shooter. I don't know who that's going to be, but I don't think either team is done. Nets are, looking at other parts for their first rounders that they got from Philadelphia, and we'll see what happens. So basically, there you have it. James Harden traded. Check this clip out.
Sorry to interrupt you, Perk, but we have a trade coming in right now from our Adrian Wojnarowski. The Brooklyn Nets are trading James Harden to Philadelphia for the 76ers. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks. That's according to our Woj. What is your immediate reaction to that, Big Rich?
No, that is
no. Right now, the details. The details. One more time. For the trade, the Brooklyn Nets, they are trading James Harden to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks, sources tell ESPN. The Nets are including Paul Millsap in the deal, too. Woj is just reporting. What do you think of this trade, Rich?
I think this is a very good trade. It's still, everything always hinges on Kyrie. If Kyrie comes back and you have an elite scorer with Kyrie, you have an elite scorer with Kevin Durant, and then you have a guy in Ben Simmons who can distribute, but is also an elite defender. And now you have that shooting. With Joe Harris out this year and has been struggling, his ankle's probably a lot worse than what they know. It kind of reminds me of the Bucks going to try and get Serge Ibaka because they know Brook Lopez might not be back. Seth Curry now adds to more space for Kevin Durant and for Kyrie Irving. But everything hinges on Kyrie Irving. It's hinged on him this year and will hinge on him moving forward. If he can come back and play and continue to play at this level, then I still think the Brooklyn Nets are the favorite.
How does this deal shake out for you, Zach?
I'm just excited we got it. This is a big deal.
It is happening.
Someone behind the scenes involved with this yesterday told me, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you this. This is where I'm leaning. If the Nets get everything or almost everything in addition to Simmons, there will be a trade. This 2 first-round picks, now we'll see what the protections are in this and that. 2 first-round picks recouping some of what they traded for James. Remember, they traded all their picks into perpetuity, basically, for James Harden. And Seth Curry, who Joel Embiid loves and has a great chemistry with. And Simmons and Drummond, a good backup center, who's been, by the way, the best backup for Joel Embiid probably that he's ever had. I think that's as close to, quote-unquote, everything as the Nets were going to get here. And I think, look, both teams got what they wanted. I think it's a good trade for Brooklyn, a good trade for Philly.
So I want to go to the other side now. We focus a lot on the James Harden side of this, and we're going to be digging into this more all show long. But Shanae, as a big, how do you see Ben Simmons fitting with the Brooklyn Nets?
I think it's really fascinating here because I think balance. When we had the big 3, there was no balance. It was all offense, no defense. And one thing I love about Ben Simmons is his defensive prowess, his ability to be positionless. And then you get these rebounds and you go. And guess what? He's going to have one job. Find Kevin Durant, another job hopefully on the road. Find Kyrie Irving. And so I think this is not a horrible scenario for either party. And I'd be remiss to not mention the James Harden effect, if I may, because, as we see Ben, that's what I love about him, his tenacity. He brings a lot of intangibles to the game. He's led the league in a number of categories defensively, like deflections and also getting steals. The pace of the game is faster. So imagine KD with an increased pace and someone that catches a ball and can throw it from the corner of his shoulder all the way to KD running down, spotting up where you can't double him. That's going to be a dangerous, lethal scenario. The James side, I think, is equally fascinating. Just because Joel Embiid has been waiting for a guard that can dominate but also can space the floor. James Harden is that guard. He really is. I think Obviously, it's contingent on him, finding his game quickly, as we've seen him be able to do. But I love this. That pick and roll is going to be wild. You've got the step back three if you, shade versus Joel Embiid, or you can give it to Joel. I would literally be playing with 2 guys on one side of the court and 3 guys spacing the floor so that if the help recovers, you've got shooters outside. So both sides of this is fascinating. And the most interesting part, still in the same conference.
Absolutely, Zach.
The Brooklyn Nets now become the greatest theoretical team in league history.
Weren't you saying they already were?
A team that we almost never got to see. A team that looked absolutely spectacular. And yeah, they were average on defense. Average on defense when you're the greatest offense in the history of Earth is good enough to win. We saw them for 16 games, and they are gone. And you mentioned Kyrie, okay? And I think that's the name we got to bring up now. Because I agree with everybody on this panel and behind the scenes who I've been talking to that Ben Simmons, great fit in Brooklyn with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. 2 shooters, 2 scorers. He can be their Draymond Green, be the defensive player of the year, facilitate, set screens. And this is one of the reasons you get 3 stars. It goes wrong, you flip one, you get another star and some draft picks. All that said, that fit sounds great. Is Kyrie Irving playing? Is he playing home games? Is he going to be on the team next year? Do we have any idea? Do we have any idea? Because if he gets vaccinated, I just don't think any of this goes haywire like this.
Well, an important note is that Ben Simmons, as Ramona Shelburne has reported in the last couple of weeks, is vaccinated. And so that makes a difference being able to play in.
James Harden officially traded to the 76ers. Biggest news of the day just broke, I don't know, a couple 10 minutes ago maybe, but I think this is really good for the 76ers. I know people are thinking he's a has-been, whatever, he's got tightness in his hamstring. Don't buy all that. He was just unhappy playing, but now he's playing with Embiid, and it's a full-on push for the championship. I hope they do. I hope the 76ers actually basically win it all. I hope they do. This is Jag Magnet for Jaggy Sports. Make sure you check it out. And Philadelphia's odds for getting the championship just went up. I wish I would have bet that yesterday. So, again, James Harden, breaking news, officially traded to the 76ers. And Ben Simmons drama is gone. He's no longer in Philadelphia. He is in Brooklyn. That is a better fit, actually. That's going to be a better fit. So yeah, it's quite it's going to be quite the game matchup between those 2 teams. I can't wait. James Harden on the 76ers. Ben Simmons on the Nets. I'll basically break it down for you guys. And any other trades that happen, but yeah, this is phenomenal news for Philadelphia, phenomenal news for the city of Brooklyn. You guys got what you wanted? There you go. Jag from Jaggy Sports.